Hey, 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 I hope you all had a good Christmas time with your families. Back to BMG Drive with this nice looking muscle car. We will do a slalom, drift, and then some strength tests in this video. So let's get started.
We'll start with a slalom test, as we want to start off slowly. First, I'll explain the rules to you. I only have 5 attempts, and any time the vehicle stops it takes 1 attempt. Another violation of the rules is if I touch or knock over the poles. Those were the rules, and one more thing, the distance between the poles is 1 car length. As a beginner, I should be able to manage that. Then let's start the challenge and wish me luck, my sweet gamers. I hope I don't embarrass myself. I have to get it right the first time. But I need a little time to get going. I can assure you that I have not practiced offline, so you will see the naked truth. Like just now. Mistakes happen. The handling is very precise, but I can't control it against the screeching tires. No, who put that bush there? I curse you, bushman. And that was the second attempt. Such a bad start. Taming a muscle car like that is a difficult thing. First we have to spawn the poles again. Then we can throw ourselves into the fight for the third time. Luck must be on my side, otherwise I'll buy myself another fortune cookie. Come on, why am I so bad with this car? I think I don't give it enough gas. That's why the rear doesn't skid. Actually, the attempt failed, but I'm going to cheat like a sore loser. Oh my god, even if I break the rules and fail, that's really the lowest of the low. Of course it doesn't count. I'm just doing it to boost my self-esteem. Maybe I'll get a better feel for this car. My skills and experience in this game are still insufficient. You probably know Muyi. This BeamNG YouTuber is so awesome. The vehicle swings around and I have no real control. Well, practice makes perfect. As my old teacher would say, respect to the people who can tame this vehicle and drive it to their advantage. One more thing I didn't mention. Once you've completed the first run, you have to navigate in a slalom-like manner again. So the penultimate attempt of my challenge has begun. I have to give it my all. And I touched it. Why are you doing this to me? I just want to come across well to the BeamNG community. My last attempt, my friends, and then you can finish me off, the worst muscle car driver. In my vision things weren't going so badly, but I immediately realized that reality was different. Giving up is not an option. Please don't, even if it didn't look that bad. That means I lost the challenge. I could really bury myself. Nevertheless, I continue, even though defeat is already written on my face. Let's get to Sigma's rating, that's me. I give the handling category 7 out of 10 points. Because it is precise and reacts quickly to sudden changes in direction. I deducted the remaining 3 points for these reasons. Not for beginners. Rear end skids easily. Then we continue with the strength test. Off to the airfield, my BeamNG testers. Here we are. I think some of you know roughly what comes next. I'll explain it to you anyway. The task will be to pull a car to the finish line using the chain lying down. Don't worry guys, I'll reveal the finish line to you in a moment and of course the vehicles that have to be pulled. So the journey can begin. See you at the finish line. This is the finish line. I'm very creative. I am not liable for any damage. So now I will show you the vehicles that have been chosen for selection. The first vehicle is the well-known Widgeon with its light weight of around 530 kilograms. It will be an easy task with that one. The next vehicle is the result of the Italian's art and is the one and only Autobello, weighing in at 744 kilograms. The third vehicle that was recently released is the Bruckle 9. The roadster version, of course. One sports car should definitely not be missing from the list. We are talking about the Scintilla. On to the next candidate. We're approaching the 2,000 kilograms mark, and that's an amazing number. Let's see if the muscle car can make it that far. If he succeeds, the next vehicle will be even bigger and much heavier. This truck probably weighs 3 times as much as the muscle car. The main highlight of the strength test is this beauty, a World War II aircraft from the American military. This is the ultimatum. This is where we can measure his true strength. Well, if he makes it at all. Let's start the test. We've waited long enough, and now the fun begins. This will be child's play for the Pontiac. For him, this widgeon is a small toy. As I expected, it pulls the vehicle along with ease. Still, it's amazing and cool to watch. Wow, he did it. The 500 kilograms weren't a big hurdle. He can still keep his title as a muscle car. Will it be the same with the next candidate? Let's find out. Not everything works out the way I want it to. You'll see what I mean. Just look closely at the chain. For some reason, the chain spins and the game pauses the physics calculations. The chain has developed a will of its own. Always these random moments in games. Then we want to continue the test. The Italian is already waiting. And don't worry, this time the chain is not aggressive. No more intentions. A piece of cake for the muscle car. No difference whether the Autobello is there or not. A vehicle weighing 744 kilograms is no challenge. The second vehicle has now crossed the finish line. So let's move on. Now it's the old-timer's turn. Will he give in and let himself be pulled? Or will he fight back and keep his place in the pulling chain? Okay, that quickly answers the question. 1,040 kilograms is not the right number for the American beast. Dude, I hit the other vehicles again. My aim has gotten much better. So we have now completed 42% of the list, and there are still 4 vehicles left. So everything is still in the green zone. This time the scintilla won't get a chain thrown at his face. We have everything under control, 100%. Very carefully and without any hectic movements, otherwise we will suffer a second outburst. Come on, don't be so difficult, you've already done that 3 times. Always those shy chains. This will take some time. It is a battle between 2 gods. Chain God versus content God. The fight will even be felt by the whole universe. I bet on my golden socks. Anyway, are you ready, my cool friends of the BeamNG community? Of course you are, otherwise I wouldn't be here. Oh my god, these are the first signs of weakness. Let's try again. Oh no, it was just a momentary lack of energy. So the winning streak can continue. But I have to confess one thing. It is a sports car, and they are designed to be light. Very good, the muscle car did it again and carried a spectator along with it. Poor dummy, it wasn't intentional. We'll respawn him right away. Then we come to the 5th vehicle, the H-Series. Its fighting weight is 2,350 kilograms. Will the Pontiac still be able to keep its name? Then we tie the heavy weight to the chain and get going. Hopefully, it will go faster this time. I'm optimistic that the muscle car will still be able to pull this heavy weight. But I still have a little bad feeling. I don't want to keep you on your toes any longer. Let's speed things up. The van has a weight of 2,350 kilograms, and this will also affect the muscle car. Of course, the Pontiac has to work harder. The wheels are already squeaking. Oh yes, my gut feeling was right. He's struggling to pull the 2-ton truck behind him. Wow, that's what I call muscle power, or rather engine power. All that's missing now is a vehicle and an airplane. The tension continues to rise. Sorry mate, that was not intentional. The preparations are underway again, and therefore my viewers ask for a little patience. The end is getting closer and closer, and of course the result as well. This MD truck weighs 5.4 tons and has twin tires. It's going to be a tough fight. Just connect the chain to the truck, and then we can start the challenge. Watch closely how this vehicle moves this truck. Or not. Unfortunately, it is too heavy. This means that the Pontiac loses its reputation as a muscle car and becomes a normal vehicle. No chance, no matter how long I press the accelerator, the truck doesn't move a millimeter. Before the vehicle destroys itself, let's try pushing the plane. I know that won't change anything, but I still want to see it. The car is smoking from all pipes, and it's pretty cool to see. Its limit has probably been reached, and so it's trying to cool down. We need a different variant for the plane. Maybe it can pull a bit. We'll have to see and try it out. Now for the mod, there are 5 variations, and I used the Judge 4 manual. I used the Judge 3 before. I'll quickly make the preparations so that we can get started quickly. Maybe some of you have noticed that I do the cutting and editing all by myself. That's why it takes me a while to produce new videos. That's why I need almost a whole week or several weeks. Don't be mad at me, I'm trying my best. Back to the video, the preparations are complete and the moment of truth is getting closer and closer. The chances are probably the lowest value of any calculated cow's milk. Come on, try harder, a trainer would say. The plane hasn't moved a millimeter, so that means big lose. You can see that muscle cars are not that strong. What muscles? Just a silly thing. So before he makes a further fool of himself, let's end the challenge here and move on to the next challenge. Tug of pull. Here I am again with a fresh brain and a new dose of coolness. Now for the game, everyone knows tug of war, whoever falls first loses. And a nasty surprise awaits at the bottom. The poor Pontiac gets torn to pieces in this video. I just chose the opponents at random. You'll see them soon enough. The first enemy will be the Ek, and the fan of destruction is waiting below. I'll show you that in a moment. But first admire my work of art and this necklace. Below is the fan of destruction. Whoever goes down will be eaten. So I'm preparing, and then things will fly around here. First I have to move the plate so that the fan of destruction can eat his victims. I could cut it out, but it won't do you any harm to see how I did it. That's why I'm taking you into my editor world. Well, I mean BeamNG editor. Doing all this with this chain almost cost me my nerves. It was exhausting. But challenges are welcome. Anyway, it won't be long now before the two opponents will face off in a battle of life and death. Just set the cars to cruise control and then there will be something to watch and celebrate. Let's see who will win. I'm for the ETK because the weight difference is too big. It's just a guess. I'm excited to see how it goes. Then we'll start the challenge and hope for an exciting fight. It looks like the ETK won and I imagined it differently. He needs a little push. I'll help him up and give him a second chance. Am I not a nice content creator? You don't meet someone like me every day and he should give his all to the second chance. Doesn't look like he'll be able to handle it. The ETK is way too strong and not at all surprised by the Pontiac. Holy cow, the Pontiac was really torn to pieces. The ETK got off lightly, the way it holds on to the edge is impressive. All I see is a Pontiac set ablaze. There's nothing left of the muscle car, just a piece of metal. That's how it should be. The next candidate is already waiting, and this time I hope that the Pontiac will do something in return. The second fighter is an SBR4, the electric version. Who will win the fight this time, and who will be torn to pieces? Oh no, that doesn't count because the rear bumper of the SBR4 has fallen off. We'll have to try again. So the official round can begin, and this time the bumper will not fly off. It looks like nobody is gaining the upper hand right now, so we'll let them fight a bit longer. And I thought that the electric car would have an easy time. The acceleration of these vehicles is outstanding. Holy moly, the Pontiac is already getting white smoke in his face. Nevertheless, he is fighting bravely in this battle. I don't want to drag this out. I'm for a draw. Nothing exciting will happen here anymore. Trust me, my sweet friends of the BeamNG community. Also, the fan of destruction didn't get a Pontiac to eat this time. We're getting straight to the fight, with no excuses or delays. In this fight, one side has to lose and be torn to pieces. Someone has to come off worse, or will it be a tie again? Someone is already sweating. The white smoke is rising from the Pontiac again. This will never work. If I delay this any longer, one of the two vehicles will overheat and destroy its engine. The probability is more likely with the Pontiac, as you can see. In retrospect, I held the chain a little higher because I thought the chain was getting stuck on the edge. It can't be that we have another draw. I'm very disappointed in both of them. They could have made it more exciting. Even my imaginary turtle would have finished it much quicker. However, I would have imagined the Gatern Solida to be completely different. Well, then I'll end the indescribable challenge of the fighting vehicles here. The fan of destruction wants something to eat now. It was too boring, so it's time to tear them both apart. The score is 1-0 for the other cars. The Pontiac must win the next battle or it will go away empty-handed. The next fighter will be a much scarier and bigger one. Whether he makes it or not, we'll find out in a moment. In the left corner is the stunning Square T-Series, weighing over a ton. This opponent will make the Pontiac sweat considerably and say the statistics. So in the right corner is the muscular, American-looking muscle car Pontiac. Before we can get going, I have to activate the cruise control on both vehicles. I completely forgot. Where did my brain go? Actually, there is a quick function button to turn on the cruise control, but since I hardly ever use it, I don't know. Activate it from this vehicle, then we can finally find out which one is stronger. So my viewers, the fight can begin and keep your eyes open. You can't miss it. I have to hold the chain up, otherwise it keeps getting stuck on the edges of the buildings. And don't worry, this way I don't distort the result. How quickly the fight ended. It wasn't even 1 minute. Oh well, at least the fan of destruction gets something to eat. This completes the strength test and brings us to the final result. Let me think for a moment. That's it for thinking, so the Pontiac achieved 5 points in the drawing challenge. The remaining 2 points were not achievable. Let's move on to the tug-of-war challenge, where the Pontiac has no wins, but 2 losses and 2 draws. That's why the car only gets 1 point. Overall, the Pontiac scored 6 points in the strength challenge, which is a satisfactory result. Off to the drift challenge. First of all, I will show you the track, then I will explain the rules and then we will drift. In this challenge the driver is more important, but I will still do my best. Now about the track, this was added with a 0.34 update. Have fun. Here is the finish line, which I marked with 2 stop signs. I'll get started then. The rules are very simple. I'm not allowed to touch the guardrail. And I'm not allowed to stop. By the way, I only have 5 lives. That's it for the rule and off we go. I took a quick trip back in time, hence the little jump. A little reminder, the drifts will not be perfect and mistakes will happen. Brake, why are you doing this to me? We are not here to hug guardrails. A life has already been used up. It went very quickly. New attempt, new luck. As the saying goes, I can't start without making the tires squeal. Maybe that will bring me luck or something. I have to prepare myself mentally for the curves, which is why I don't drive so fast. Of course, also because I'm afraid of embarrassing myself and being called the worst drifter. Some drifts won't look so cool and will be very beginner-friendly. But I'm not trying to come across as perfect. No, I accelerated too much and lost control. If I come to a stop now, I'll have to start again. Restart. And now I only have 3 lives left. I can do better than that. Keep your fingers crossed for me, my dear BeamNG lovers. I have to feel the road and be the car, like in Cars. I've seen all of them, but the first film was still world class. Anyway, I need to concentrate now. Music, please. Come on, this is going to be a perfect drift. I can feel it in my bones. Up until then it was perfect, but now we've ended up on the side of the road. I thought this would be a victory for me. Only 2 lives left. I think I'm going to sink into the sand and not come out until I've gotten better. I'm currently playing with a controller, which is why these unwanted things are happening. I was looking for the handbrake button on the controller, but couldn't find it. And suddenly the game realized that I had been drifting for about 5 minutes and the HUD display appeared. Great, right? Better than now than never. This function has its right to exist. Swarm over it. This is about drifting and not about coffee clutch. Oh shit, I hit the guardrail earlier. I'm about to cry from my eyes and nose. It can't be that difficult. So there's only one life left and the pressure is rising uncontrollably. If I don't manage this now, I'll be out of the drifting scene. Well, I'm a beginner. How can I be in the drift scene? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, my last chance is currently in use and my hands are sweating. Not. I'm going to give it my all or nothing. This attempt has to work. Otherwise, I'll throw the controller across my room. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit. I would never throw away a PS5 controller. Things were a little different when I was a kid. Swarm over it. I need to concentrate more. I messed up that corner. That wasn't a drift. That was close. I almost kissed a tree. So far so good. Keep going. Don't fail is today's motto. A couple of drifts were executed very cleanly. Previous drift. I hit the guardrail, so I have no lives left. That means I didn't pass the challenge. But I'm still driving to the finish line. My ergometer has been destroyed. So we come to the overall result of this 4-part challenge. And with this challenge we found out the question of whether the Pontiac is as agile as a hummingbird and as strong as a horse. I will show the results of each challenge and then answer the question. So let's get started. The Pontiac can proudly say that it is as strong as a horse. It handles well, but I couldn't control it when drifting. So it's not a hummingbird. Before I say goodbye, this format is for entertainment purposes only. Please download the mods and have fun with them. Until the next video. Wup wup.